Hey, how's it going? I hope you guys are having a blessed day and a blessed week. I'm gonna finish up this series on She Got Caught Part 2. So last week or 2 weeks ago, we did Part 1. Gonna give you a recap of what went down. She Got Caught Part 1 was basically about maybe some of us or me or you or whoever it may be kind of sat in that judgment role, whether um, we found out that somebody committed a sin or a crime or whatever it may be, and we pushed them to the curb or pushed them to the corner and really just judged them and ridiculed them and say he did that, she did that, instead of what we should be doing is embracing them and showing them with love and helping them get through all these ordeals and all these trials, um, and really helping them, pushing them forward instead of pushing them away. So that was part one. Part two is I want to put myself really in the shoes of that woman in a story in John chapter 8. A woman getting caught in idolatry. So I'm going to put myself in their shoes the best that I can. And I believe this is going to speak to people that are in the same situation, same predicament. And my hope and my desire is that in all of this that you see Jesus, in all of this that you see God, in all of this that you see His riches, that you see His glory, that you find His grace and mercy through this all. So John chapter 8, and what's happening is, so this guy is kind of dragging this woman, right, who they found and caught in the very act of idolatry, and drag her into a service, and probably thousands of people there. Jesus on stage preaching about money because money was a problem. I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm just saying. So they pull her up on stage and they like, we got her, we got her, we got her good. The Torah or Moses said we should kill her and stone her to death. What do you say we should do, Jesus, teacher? What do you say we should do? So Jesus gets down right in the dirt, looks up, and they start jeering at Jesus. Hey, come on, hello, let's kill her. Let's get on with the party. Come on. And Jesus gets up from right in the dirt, and he says, "Those of you who have not sinned, you can throw a stone. Go ahead, throw a stone." And he goes back right in the dirt, probably writing out their sins. I don't know. I'm guessing. And one by one, their conscience, the Bible says, their conscience convicted them, and they slowly walked away. And as Jesus got up the second time, he noticed that her accusers were all gone. And he says to the woman, right, in verse, this is where we're going to pick off from. So John chapter 8, verse 10 says this: Jesus stood up and spoke to her, "Woman, where are they? Does no one condemn you?" And she responds this way, and I love these three words. She said, "No one, Master." Another translation says, "No one, Lord." She's identified who He is, and that's very key because that shows that her condition of her heart has changed when you identify who He is. And then His response, Jesus says this: "Neither do I. Go on your way. From now on, don't sin." You're missing God in all of this. This is the Message translation, by the way. I love the Message translation. It kind of puts it in contemporary language. So it says, go on your way. From now on, don't sin. You're missing God in all of this. You're missing God in all of this. I want to speak to you right from the moment of that woman, right? I mean, can you imagine the pain, the anguish she must have felt, the humiliation she must have felt? Right? She gets dragged into a service, half naked probably, and probably her relatives, her friends in the audience, and she tried to cover up her hair with her face. I mean, this is rough. This is rough. It's rough for anybody to be put through that, and probably really a shame of what she's been put through right there, and just the hurt and the pain. Knowing that she tried to cover this all her life probably, and all of a sudden she got caught, and now she can't cover this no more. And these guys are probably jeering on her back and say, hey, we got her, let's kill her, let's kill her, let's kill her, let's kill her. And she's probably reading that in her mind, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. And she looks at God and says, this is it, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. He deserves to strike me dead. Right? And she says, no one, master. And God says, neither do I. Can you imagine what she must have felt in that moment to hear those words from God, from Master, from Lord, say, neither do I. Neither do what? Neither do I. Go and sin no more. Neither do I. I mean, but do you know what I did? I mean, can you imagine the words that she's thinking, like, I slept with some guys, had some affairs, hello? And God says, no, I don't condemn you. Go and sin no more. You're forgiven. My grace is sufficient for your life. I love you. Today is a new day. Today you can wash away clean. Today is a day of salvation. Today you don't have to sin no more, because all you do is you're missing out what God has for you when you sin. Sin sets us apart from God. He said, go and sin no more. It's okay. Get up and walk. Get up and move forward in life. Don't go back to those habits. Don't go back to what you're doing. Get up. I don't condemn you. Go and sin no more. Have you ever get caught in something like that though? Maybe not something as severe as that, but just in general. Have you ever get caught? Right? I remember as a kid growing up, and I mean, maybe you have experienced this as well, and your mom gets up to you and you're like, son, daughter, did you do that? And you're like, no, I didn't do that. It wasn't me, it was her. Right? And we blame our siblings, or we blame the neighbor's kid, or we blame our friends, or that wasn't me, that was Johnny. That wasn't me, that was Susan. Or I don't know, just we put the blame game on, and we try to push the blame off of us, and we said, it ain't me, I'm the angel, halo on the head, I would never do something like that. No, that's not me, right? Or when we get older, as into adulthood, and our boss comes up, hey, did you do this? Right? Your boss, or somebody asks you, hey, did you, right? Or you get pulled on the side and the police officer says, did you really speed 70 miles per hour? No, I was going only 50. I love 50. No, you didn't. You went 70, right? And you're just trying to cover it up, and you get caught, right? Or the cop said, no, look at my radar gun, 70 miles an hour. And you're like, oh, that's me. And you feel like ashamed, and you're like, oh, this sucks, it really does. And at work you get caught, and women, we put the makeup on, the MAC makeup, and we try to cover it up best we can. And guys, we try to put our slick do, we try to look all good, and maybe she won't know, and maybe my wife won't know that I'm having an affair. Come on, maybe my kids won't know that I'm using their college money on gambling. Hello, maybe my friends won't know that I'm having Bible study with. Maybe they won't know that what I look on the internet. Come on, maybe they won't know. Right? Come on, I'm speaking to somebody. And then finally you get caught, and you're like, man, this sucks. And tears start to run down your face, and you start to feel ashamed. You start to feel condemned already. Right? And you're like, man, how can a God love me? How can he love a wretched sinner like me? How can he love me? Right? I remember that show, Family Matters. Have you ever heard of the show? It's the best show ever. Sitcom, the best sitcom ever. Better than the ones today, because the ones today are really lame. Really lame. If you've not watched Family Matters, you better go Google that. Get a YouTube, get a Hulu.com, and check that out, because you're missing it. I'm serious. Seriously. If you've never heard of that, I'll be praying for you. So anyway, Family Matters is basically this in a nutshell. There was a family, and they had a crazy neighbor next door. And the crazy neighbor would come over, and because he liked the daughter of this family, and he does something. He's very clumsy, and he breaks something, and his famous line was what, right? Did I do that? Right? He was this nerdy guy with glasses and spandex and I mean not spandex, but yeah, whatever you call those things. You know what I'm thinking. But just this nerdy guy and his name was Steve Urkel, right? And every day he would, I mean, well, every time they watch the show, he always had that line, "Did I do that?" But what I love about that show is, at the end of the show, you know, they always embrace him. Say, Steve, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be fine. That no matter what he did, I mean, he created some major disasters. He did some major things. He burned some stuff down. He breaks some stuff that is very valuable, but they always loved him. And I love what Jesus says. He says to this woman, says, "I don't condemn you. I forgive you. I love you. Go and sin no more. In fact, I am giving you a brand new start." Some of you needed to hear that today. Some of you needed to hear that God doesn't condemn you. And no matter what you did, no matter how bad you may think you are, that He still loves you. That what He did on the cross was for you. That while, I love what Romans says, right? Romans says, while we were yet what? Sinners, that He first loved us. That no matter, that yet while we were living in our sin, that while we were living how we were living, He loved us. That no matter what you did, no matter what you're doing today, He loves you. That no matter how bad you may think you are, He loves you. And no matter how much you think you are a wretched person or evil person, He loves you. That He don't condemn you. His grace is sufficient for your life. So that's my prayer for you today, is that that maybe you're like thinking like, man, if God knows what I did, He knows what you did. He knows what you did. Do you really think that He gonna love me? Yeah, He does. But sin sets you apart from God. God wants you to live the life He has created you to live. He wants you to live a life full and abundant. And apart from Him, there is no life. In Him, there is life. If you want to live life to your fullness, Jesus is what you need. So my hope and my desire is that when your sin gets revealed, that whatever it is that you're bringing before God, that He's going to wash you clean. And today He's going to give you a brand new start. Walk in Him. Seek after Him. And it's going to be all right. Because God's going to get you through it. And God's going to take you to heights that you never think. God made ordinary people to do extraordinary things. But you're never going to experience extraordinary things if you continue to do what you want to do. But if you seek His will, His desires, you're going to do exceedingly above and beyond. It's okay. We all sin. We all fall short of the glory. But God redeems us. And He's going to take us to the next place. The best is yet to come for your life. So I hope that this helps you. I hope this encourages you. And I hope that this motivates you to get involved in a local church, that this motivates you to get back and reading your Bible. This motivates you to get back with Jesus, that this strengthens your relationship with Him. So you take care. That God doesn't condemn you. He loves you. And no matter how wretched, how bad we may think we look, He loves you. Take care. God bless.